Testing 1, 2, 3. Yes, it's coming up to 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. on the eastern coast of the United States of America, where I am located right now in North Carolina, and it's point of the moment. And on this turbulent, as I say, Thursday is usually a turbulent day. People are still wondering whether Donald Trump will be indicted because everything is up in the air and there's all kinds of confusion. And a lot of people are distraught because there is not only confusion, there is chaos. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people who are involved in some deep stuff and we don't know where it's going to go. And so how do we retain our peace of mind? And one of the ways might be, as I just started today, and it rebounds, it launches tomorrow, called More Power to You, the prayer podcast, and we're going to talk just about that. More power to you. But today, I want to continue because yesterday, I was not here because I was standing in line for 4 hours, and I didn't expect to stay that long, but I had to do that, and I'll tell you why, and then we will get to the subject of the day, and that is the subject of influence. How to win friends and influence people is what Dale Carnegie talked about. We have a new way of viewing it, but it's still a very important word. If you want to be successful today, you are going to have a degree, maybe a large degree, at least some influence. I'm Stan Houston. That's the program for today, and it begins right now. As I've been saying for the last couple of years, I want you to be a part of the program. But I knew it would take a long time before people would take the plunge or even take the opportunity, but that's beginning to happen. And I've invited a few friends now who have said, yes, we would like to be a part of the program. We would like to be faithful contributors. Maybe we'd even like to have our own podcast program sometime. So after he recovers from his surgery, Peter McClellan, along with his friend Angus, will be joining us on the radio from time to time on a regular basis because he has a lot of wisdom, insight, and truth, particularly about those of us who are concerned with money. And I think that's many of us concerned with money. He has a lifetime of experience in helping people deal with the money. And then he says, I also try to help them deal with what really matters. And he's done that well, and he will be here as a regular partner on the program. Now, what about you? What would you like to do to be a part of the program? And all it takes is a little bit of courage. Take heart. You have to have a telephone, and you have to have the courage and the desire to stand up, speak up, and take a stand. Okay? And we'll see where that goes. It will be exciting and energizing for sure. Now, the program is called Interesting Ideas, and I guaranteed that this week I would be taking you through the 4 elements of why we need interesting ideas. And on Monday, please go back to the program on Monday, and that kind of tells you where it's going to go. Then you can go to the program on Tuesday, and that's where I challenged you. It's about insight and how do you get to the point where you have greater awareness and ability of knowing what's going on, to understand the situations, to not be fooled, nor do you ever attempt to fool people. You have insight, wisdom, insight, and truth. Wit, with a touch of wit, too. Wisdom, insight, and truth. Wit, with a touch of wit. And I pointed out the very important part of that is knowing when to tit and when to tot. Tit, tot. T-I-T. This is true. And T-A-T. That ain't true. So I would encourage you to go back to the program on Tuesday. Well, I was planning on Wednesday, but what happened was that we had made plans to get our passports renewed, and so my plan was to go down in the morning as soon as the shop opened and get my passport. Well, it turned out that to get the passport, it took 5 hours, 4 hours, and then another hour getting back, and about 5 hours of standing in line and then going through the process of getting our passport application processed. And by the time I got home, I didn't want to talk. I was tired. And the wonderful thing about the program is that you can just listen to the last one. And by the way, the one on Tuesday was pretty good, and you should listen to it. So do that. But now I'm back. It's Thursday. And okay, we said it was insight, then it was influence, impact, and income. Now, here's what I'd like to talk about in terms of influence. First of all, how to win friends and influence people. Influencing people is basically getting them to do these things. First of all, you have to understand that all business is show business, and life is basically a performance. And so, you have to be a performer. If you want to be an influencer, you got to get in the game, you got to get on stage, you have to take a platform, take a stand, and you have to perform for your audience. And that means a couple of choices. First of all, what kind of performance are you going to give? And who is your audience? Who are the people that you want to influence? And it is without exception, at least in my world, that the purpose of influence is to do good. To do good. Particularly for the audience. They are more important than you are. That's right. You will treat them as the most important people in the world, and what will happen is that you will perform. And there are all kinds of performances that you can give for your audience. Then you need to attract them. That's right. Something has to happen in which they give you a look or a listen. And then they give you their attention. All right, here we go. Here is influence. First of all, it's attraction. As one of my broadcasting friends at the BBC told me, as a young learner at the BBC, he said, keep in mind that your listener is doing something else. Stop them. You have to get their attention. You have to get their attention. You have to get their attention. And so they will give you their attention rather than giving it to something else or somebody else. Then you have to, in a certain way, because of what you do and how you perform and how you treat them, they will not only give you their attention, they will give you their time. What I ask for is that, I'm buying 3 to 5 minutes every time I put a program on, because you have that switch and you can turn it off anytime. But you need to be in a position where not only can you get the people in your audience to give you their attention, you need to give them time. They need to give you time. And so they exchange. You give them your time, and they give you their time. Something can happen now that you have what? Their attention and their time. Then you have to be able to get them to trust you. You got that? Trust you. And that's the big one. In fact, that's why we're going to take a break now, because that is the big one, the big T today. Because of all of the lies that have been told and the things that we have been told, particularly during this COVID situation, the level of trust is at its lowest ebb in our culture and our society today. Think about that. And that's a problem. Because if you don't trust anybody, business and life, as we understand it and need it to be, cannot go on. You know, when I go to the gasoline station, I have to trust that the man, the woman who owns that gasoline station is giving me the right kind of gasoline as advertised for my automobile so that it will run and not break. I have to trust him. And he has to trust me that when I write him a check or give him my credit card, that he is going to get, she is going to get the money. And those trust transactions happen by the millions and billions every day. And the more times those trust transactions are violated, when people don't do what they say they are going to do, trust goes down. And if people don't trust you, you have no influence. That's the deal. Okay, take a quick break now, as I want you to think about how do you build trust in your world every day? What do you do so that people, and more people in your audience, and maybe even people outside of your audience who will become part of your audience, trust you? How do you do that? Okay, we'll be back. Okay, the last one. Okay, here we go. Interesting ideas, interesting people. And as I pointed out, the only way you're going to be different is you're going to have to create new things. That's right. You're going to have to create new things, and you're going to have to be able to demonstrate that they have value. You have to do that. Now, your audience, you attract them. You get their attention. They give you time. They give you their trust. Now comes income. Now, of course, we generally think of income means a salary, compensation, money. That's certainly true. But the point that we use in our performance coaching and in our business coaching and in our life development is income is a lot of things, and money may not be the most important. One of the income things you will get is people trust you. They may follow you. They may be your friend. That's a good income. That's an outcome. That's an income. You will be able to find greater levels of happiness and contentment and peace of mind and health and spiritual well-being and joy and happiness. All of those are income. They are things that you want to come into your life. And hopefully, since this is how the world works and oftentimes how we keep score and get the things we want and need, that income will be in the form of compensation, money, income, money. There we go. Now, I want you to listen to this program 2 or 3 times, and if you're in leadership, share it with others. Again, a TED Talk is 20 minutes, and we're not even going to make 20 minutes. And then what happens is wonderful things happen. People recommend you to others. As I say, I don't want a referral. The indictment, if Donald Trump is indicted, he's referred to the court for a trial. That's a referral. No, I don't want a referral. I want a recommendation. I want a strong, wonderful recommendation. And that means that you have influence. All right, there we go. Interesting ideas. You have to perform for your audience so they give you attention, time, trust, money, and true and real income, and they recommend you to others. This 17 minutes has been worth a lot of time, energy, and money, and we would be grateful if you would recommend us to others. I'm Stan Houston. The program has been and is coming to an end. Interesting ideas. We'll be right back to thank you for your time. And part of my thank you for your time is, again, to pronounce a benediction. Remember from our program on, St. Patrick's Day? May the strength of God pilot us. May the wisdom of God instruct us. May the hand of God protect us. May the word of God direct us. Be always ours this day and forevermore. From one of the great business performance and life coaches by the name of St. Patrick. All the best and blessings to you. There are a variety of ways that we can help you through our business performance coaching, through helping you become a world-class podcaster, helping you become a Jesus entrepreneur, and we can help you be a leader in your field. We can help you have insight. That's right. Influence. Impact. That's next. And then income. StanHouston@gmail.com. StanHouston@gmail.com. We're getting it fixed, but look at our website on podcastingwitradio.net. And tomorrow we begin the program, More Power to You, the prayer podcast. Watch for it and participate in it. Thank you so much. Till next time, bye for now.